Starcast, the official podcast of the Billingham Stars. Watch and listen for the latest news from the Big Red Machine.
Welcome one, welcome all. It's Starcast here from your Billingham Town Council sponsored Billingham Stars. Another edition as the season for everybody else appears to be rolling on nicely. But we do have hockey this weekend to talk about. This coming weekend.
It's game week.
For your undefeated and still in the playoffs, Billingham Stars. We haven't played the game. We're still in 8th place. Played the 1v8 qualifier. Get in there. Phew. So plenty to talk about. Again, a full week of the NIHL North Division 1. Sons, Billingham Stars, OBS. But we've got Carol and we've got Jono to muddle our way through another 45 minutes or so to talk about. Evening to you both. As Jono says, Carol, it's game week. We have hockey to talk about this coming week.
It's game week.
Yeah.
Hey,
First time since August, since last month. Jono, everything okay with yourself as well?
Yeah. Just the usual. I think I've upset a few folk, but that's just another normal week, I guess, in the hockey world.
Yeah, we'll come to that in any other business, I'm sure. But yeah, so we start with, obviously at this point we'd normally talk about Billingham's last game, which was nearly 3 weeks ago, so we'll not do that. But we do have a game coming this Sunday, and we're at the Castle at Elland Road to take on the Leeds Knights, who had themselves a bit of a game of the weekend, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, so Stars travel for their first game of the season. We've been watching them in training. The intensity of that, some scrimmages, and Carol, we should be after 3 weeks waiting, raring to go.
God, it's been awful, hasn't it? Sat on the sidelines watching everybody else getting going and everybody getting excited, and we're all sat twiddling our thumbs and waiting for some hockey. But it's finally happening on Sunday, so yeah, brilliant news. Can't wait. It's been a long time coming, and we are the last team to play a league game, and that's just silly. But hey, bring it on. Sunday, here we come.
Yeah. Everybody else is up and running. But yeah, Leeds Knights. We'll talk about their 2 games so far. But we talked about them last year, Jono, their debut season. They've kept a lot of the core together, as we said in the summer preview. And they've added some prospects coming up from the Leeds juniors as well. So they will still be a challenge, and particularly on home ice.
Yeah, there will be a bit of an unknown quantity again. They brought a few more faces in. They brought a little bit more experience in, even though still very young. The likes of Dan Sparsworth, done very well on his rounds with Bradford. I think Steel Dogs he had a game or 2 for last year. Had a good spell with Blackburn, so they brought a big talent in him, and who will have eyes on that big team. So he'll be out to a press. But yeah, they're going to be 2 games in, and this is not the game that it was last year for the Stars. We're cold. We're going into it. We're just getting started. These have had same amount of training, but they've had 2 games and the battle ready, and it's going to be a real tough game for the Stars on Sunday.
Yeah, and as we talked about last week, they pushed the Hawks in Blackburn last week. Hawks only winning by 3-1, so Hawks had to be at their best, and I say, and then the Leeds went and won on the weekend in their home opener, so they're off and running in the league. And Carol, it's as Jono says, perhaps it's not the game it was last year. I can't remember how many times I said this last season, but we need to be ready for puck drop on Sunday, don't we?
Well, we do, because they've had, not only have they got a bit of a different look about them this season, but also they've got 2 competitive games under the belt already, which actually does count for a lot. So, it's by no means a given, this one. They looked really good in their 2 games. Got the result on Sunday, pushed Blackburn all the way the week before. They're an incredibly young team, so they're not gonna tire. I think the oldest guys on their team are 23 years old. Now that's pretty phenomenal. Mm-hmm. They're bringing these young, hungry kids through. You've got Frankie O'Sullivan scoring at 15 years and however many days it was in Blackburn the other week.
Yeah.
This is a very young, very hungry, very fit team, and we're the defending champions. We've got 4 trophies to defend this year, and to say the target on our back is massive is an understatement. So every single team is going to get themselves up to play us as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have to be ready, because if we're not ready, that banana skin's going to come sooner than we think.
Yeah. And Sunday it's 7 o'clock at the Castle, so late Sunday. So it's going to be a kind of a long weekend waiting for the game to come, John. And we've seen the guys in training for the last few weeks. We know they've been training well. They've been intense. The speed's been there. The intensity's been there. But game time is a completely different prospect, and we need to be on our very best. Even though, as we said last week, it is the Leeds Knights, and on paper you would think it's a Stars game, but we need to be at our very best to get going.
Absolutely, and I think the one thing, the way this team's been drilled over the last 2 years, is I think we will be ready. I can't think of a game that we've turned up to in the last 2 years where this team hasn't been drilled and ready to play. But I think we're going to probably have to use our excitement, and I hope the lads are just excited to get going, as we've all been waiting for the league season to start, even though it was 2-3 weeks after everybody else. And I think that excitement may have to get us through the first 10-15 minutes of that first period, because without a doubt those Leeds Knights are going to come flying at us, because they'll see an opportunity to come after us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they'll definitely have an eye on this as a game that they can take points from. And as you said, the youngsters are brought through from their own academy, like Frankie O'Sullivan, as Carol mentioned, one of the first players to take advantage of these new under 16 rules. And they brought up a defenseman as well, Jonas Bennett, who makes me feel incredibly old, because I remember Jonas starting when he was in Manchester as a under 10, and now he's playing NIHL against my team, and it's like, and I'm only 23. How did that happen? I don't know. But this is as well, Dara Sportforth, an NIHL North veteran, you could say. But he's still quite a young player. But he has experience, so they've added and they've improved massively from the team we saw last year, and their coaching staff, Davy Lawrence and Andy, formerly of this parish, they know what to do and how to get the best of their players, Carol.
Absolutely, and that's what makes them such an unknown, because they are very young, and they are well coached, but kids are being kids. You don't quite know what you're going to get on any given week, whether all of that knowledge and experience has sunk in training or not, because there were times last season where I think I said it was like watching Leeds Knights was a little bit like watching junior football, with all the kids chasing the ball,
Mm-hmm.
rather than looking to be in the right position. I'm sure with a full season under their belts now, that's going to happen less and less and less. And yeah, they are yes, still unknown to a lot of people, but I think, having seen some of the predictions that have been going around, and again, we're probably going to get onto that later, a lot of people have got Leeds as last, and I don't see that. I just don't. I think they'll do what they did last season and get better as the season goes on. And what better place for them to get a little bit of confidence and put themselves in the spotlight than to get one over the league champions. So I just don't see this as a gimme. I think this is one to watch out for.
Yeah. And the guys who were there last year, obviously now a year older, a year more experienced. They know what the NIHL North is about. So they're going to be more experienced in a different challenge. What do we need to do, John, to kind of go on? Anything we need to focus on, or do we just need to play our own game and kind of take the points that way?
If we can set off like we started last year, if we can, Ian scoring goals, I think everyone knows we've probably still got the best firepower in the division. Even losing Conor McNulty, I still believe we're still up there with the firepower. And I think a lot will be relied on them. Defensively, we've still got great defensemen. Jacob's still a great netminder. So nothing's changed too much. I just think they're going to have to believe in each other. They're going to have to understand that they will have a bigger target on the back that they've ever had before, claiming 4 trophies. But I think it's just believing in that, in the scoring depth. They all know they can score. And I think they've just got to continue in that vein. Even if we win games 6-5, 7-6, I'm sure the fans will be entertained nonetheless. But do what we do best, and that's score goals.
Yeah. Anything different for you, Carol? Or do you agree with your supporters club chairman?
I just think we have to play our own game. But the important thing is that we bring our own game. And that's the thing for me. If we bring our game, then I don't see past the Stars win. But with us having this late start to the league, with the Knights have a couple of games under their belt, it is just for me having the right mindset and being ready to go from minute one. If we are fine, I think it's comfortable. If not, then we've got a problem.
Yeah, and that's something we mentioned last year. The mindset was different last year. So if that's continuous, pretty much the same squad coming back, if that mindset's still there, and with the coaching staff that are there, you would expect it will be. So hopefully that does continue. John mentioned the fans, with this being our first game for a wee while, and already us holding the record attendance for Leeds 2.
We do.
Are we looking to extend that record this weekend?
I think we'll see a few people down there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite busy.
Even a late one on a Sunday night, people
I think
want their Stars.
Looking around the social medias, I think if you're looking at a few posts, a lot of fans are starting to get giddy for this weekend. It's been a long time coming. Like I said, we've seen everybody else have their fun. And I think the next 2 Sundays we'll be having ours with our first game, and then obviously our homecoming game, especially with all the trophies in the bag as well. And we get to be out on the ice as defending champions of what the morally champions, Grand Slam morally champs that we are. I think the fans are really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's one of the shorter trips as well, Carol, isn't it? So it's just down the road.
The shortest.
With the departure of our ex-friends up the road, this is now our local derby. So make of that what you will.
Teesside against Yorkshire. Heard that before somewhere. But no. But if you are travelling, obviously do travel well. Look forward to the start of the competitive season for your Billingham Stars. Travel well, travel safe. Usual, we give a glowing review to the on-site catering last season, if I remember, particularly the hot chocolate. Yes,
hot chocolate.
So if it is late on a Sunday night, hot chocolate may be the order of the day. That we can say for sure. But so travel well, loud and proud as you always are, for your big red machine, and we'll talk about it next week on the show as we build towards our home opener on the last weekend of September. Isn't that brilliant? So Stars in Leeds on Sunday. We'll talk about fixtures and stuff of the whole division later. But as we said at the top, there was a full programme of the other 9 teams all played games. So we'll go through those scores and just have a little thought about those games as they do. So last Saturday kicked off with Telford and the Widnes Wild, and it finished after a close first couple of periods. Telford ran away with it in the third, finished 7-4 to the Telford Tigers. So they take their first win in this division for a wee while. Also on Saturday, a Saturday night for the Solihull Barons, and they welcomed Nottingham, and the Barons took a 5-1 win there. On Saturday as well at Sheffield. I think we said this on Sunday, Carol. We're going to have to take credit for this.
Yes,
because we mentioned the words D-side and defense, and the Dragons pull out a double shutout weekend. On Saturday in Sheffield, they won by 10 goals to 0. 3-0, 4-0, 3-0, 58 shots to 20. And then the following day in the return, 9 goals to 0, 62 shots to 22, 3-0, 4-0, 2-0. So that's a 19-0 weekend for the D-side Dragons. And we're taking all of the credit for mentioning defense. And so if any team wants to be fixed, just tell us. We'll mention it, and it'll be fixed for the rest of the season here on in. Other Sunday games, Solihull completed their home doubleheader, a 4-3 win over the Widnes Wild. Again, it was comfortable in the second, and then 2 goals in the third from Widnes made it a 1-goal game. But a 50-27 shot count had it in the Barons' favour for that one. Blackburn, their second game, second home game as well. 4-0 over the Hull Jets. Comfortable enough for the Hawks. And finally, as we mentioned, Leeds Knights had their home opener against the Nottingham Lions. And a bit of a ding-dong back and forth with this one. And it finished 5-4 for the Leeds Knights. So they're off and running in the win column. Dara Sporforth, as you mentioned, he bagged a couple. Jonas Bennett as well. Alex Rushby had 2 for Nottingham, so he's picked up where he left off as well. So everybody's kind of in full season form, except the team that hasn't played yet. But there you go. Any of those results you want to expand upon? Miss Cowley, you can go first.
I actually watched Tigers v Wild on Saturday because thank you very much, Telford. That was on YouTube. Always grateful for a bit of free hockey. So I did watch that one. I was actually close until about the last 5 minutes, I think, and then Telford bagged some late ones. I actually thought that game was quite scrappy. Very what I would consider to be early season. Struggling to put passes together. And this is both teams. What did stand out to me though is Vladimir Luka. Yeah, he's going to cause problems for everybody. I think we already knew that though. I was quite surprised, having seen Widnes on the Saturday, to see the result the following night in Solihull, because I actually thought Solihull would have run away with that one. But again, it's early days in the season. You've got teams who have, teams like Solihull who've invested heavily that are probably going to take a little bit of time to get into a rhythm. So possibly that, or possibly a netminder standing on his head. I think the only other thing we should mention probably is poor Sheffield. I mean, bottom of the league last year, and they started the season off. To be fair, for the first game, they only just got edged out by Widnes, but 19-0 over 2 games is a horror show. I'm sure they'll learn lots from that, but they're going to have to learn quick, otherwise it's going to be a very, very long season. Yeah,
definitely. John, anything from you stand out?
The main ones would be for the Telford game. I thought Telford probably would have been more comfortable than that on home ice, with the firepower that they have in Howells and Stanton and Luca. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And then obviously the Knights 2 and the Lions game, I thought the Lions would be not comfortable winners, but winners in that game. I think they are slightly above Leeds for me in ability wise, and just didn't get it done on the Sunday, and Leeds took the home win. Other than that, everything else probably went as expected. And yeah, I think Sheffield's going to be one of those weird teams where they'll concede double figures one weekend, and then I think they'll probably lose by a goal the next. So it'll be interesting to see how that development goes with the whole Sheffield family.
Yeah. So we'll have a quick look at the league table. As we mentioned, still at very, very early stages. You've got Deeside, Blackburn, and Solihull all with 6 points. Deeside just edging the goal difference with a plus 19 after 2 games. And then a big pack in the middle: Telford, Leeds, Widnes, and Nottingham, all on 3 points. In the final playoff spot, 8th place, the Billingham Stars. No games, no wins, no draws, no losses, no goals, no points. But in 8th, and then Hull in 9th after 2 defeats, and Sheffield, as Carol said, bottom after 3 defeats, and already a negative 20 goal differential. So they're bottom of the table.
So what he's saying is, if results go our way at the weekend, we could be 4th.
We haven't fired, I haven't fired up the fixtures for the weekend yet, but yes, we're going. Yeah, 3 points on offer. If we get a goal difference, we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be mad for the first few weeks until the fixtures start to even out. But yeah, but we're up and running on Sunday night, which we can't wait for. Next weekend's fixtures, just one game on Saturday, and it is Telford against Blackburn. A 6 o'clock league and cup tie at Telford Ice Rink. And then Sunday, 4 games on the slate for Sunday. Sims against Solihull is your early game. Widnes Blackburn at 5:30. So Blackburn, after 2 home games, have a road doubleheader to kick things off for their road trips. Leeds Billingham, as we said, 7 o'clock on Sunday. And then the late one at the NIC, 7:20 p.m. at Nottingham for the Lions against the Telford Tigers. That is your schedule for next weekend. Once we get up and running properly, the producer might even start doing graphics and stuff so we can see this on the screen rather than just talking about it. But as it is, that's what you're getting this week. Anything on the fixtures for next week? Obviously, Stars game aside is where our focus is. Hawks first road games be an interesting barometer, Jono.
Yeah, it'll be
your
interesting.
friends, as we know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we go actually, and see how Telford approach that game. Do they just go all out and try and take on the Hawks, or do they try and contain them and beat them? Is it a free shot for them? In their mind, it probably is. But the fixture for me for the weekend is going to be the Lions-Tigers game. For me, I think that's a very interesting fixture, and I think we'll probably get to see where each team's at after that one, even after 3 or 4 games in.
Mm-hmm. Anything from you, Carol? Anything spotting? Take no fancy?
I'll put my plea out now to whoever put Telford's game out last week. Can they please put Saturday's game out? Because I think that would be a really, really good game to watch. Telford Blackburn, I've got my eye on. And for totally different reasons, Widnes Blackburn on Sunday. I don't know what it is about Widnes, but they look already like they're going to be completely Jekyll and Hyde. So I'd be really interested to see how that one goes. And Solihull on the road at Sheffield. Are Sheffield able to bounce back, lick their wounds, dust themselves off, and get themselves back up again for a tough game against Solihull?
Mm-hmm. And the Lions home game on Sunday. I haven't seen this yet. If they're back to free webcasts or they're charging, because they charged the back end last season, didn't they?
They did.
I haven't seen what they've said about this season's. I know they've put their gate tickets out today, I think, and they have now joined a double figure club for entry fees. So they're £10 a ticket now. But yeah, see what the webcast says for the Lions on Sunday, whether it's still behind a paywall or not. But yeah, plenty of action as well as your Billingham Stars. Anything else on the goings on either this week or next before we take a quick break and then come back with our any other businessy stuff?
Nope.
All good?
Nope.
I think that's a good place to take it. Then we'll take a short break. We'll be back with some any other business, some predictions, some supporters club, some what's going on in the media world this week as well. Plenty going on ahead of our first actual game, because we're actually going to play some actual hockey this actual weekend. And we haven't mentioned Thor's ice cream this week either. All that and more to come after the break. This from your Billingham Town Council sponsors, Billingham Stars. This is Starcast. Welcome back to Starcast. This week's edition, Carol and Jono with myself talking about all things Billingham Stars and the NIHL North. Our friend Harley, who runs NIHL North Updates, has been asking certain people for their NIHL morally predictions. We've had a few people put their names forward, including one, Jay Langstaff. We'll come to him in a moment. Blackburn's Graham Hamilton. He was the first one to get published, and he had Blackburn to win the league and the playoffs and the national playoffs, Solihull to win the cup, and Streatham to win the national league final. And he had us in second place in the league, D-side, then Solihull, then Telford, then Hull, then Widnes at Nottingham, Sheffield, and Leeds at the bottom, as Carol said. Anything on Graham Hamilton? I would just plough on.
I think
Blackburn predicts Blackburn success. Shocker.
Yeah, but to be fair, you've got to be slightly nutty not to go with Blackburn to win the league, given their roster.
Mhm.
That's my thinking anyway.
Yeah.
If you've got yourself a roster that's stacked and you don't win the league, something's broke.
No, that's concur with that. Nicky Watt from the 4,000 Counting podcast. He's also given his predictions. He also goes for Blackburn, Billingham 1-2, with the Hawks winning the league. Also says the Hawks will win the Cup and the Morley playoffs. But he's picked Streatham, a team what his brother plays for, to win the national playoffs and the National League game. So his league table goes Blackburn, Billingham, Solihull, Telford, Deeside, Hull, Nottingham, Widnes, Leeds, and Sheffield. You can find all of these on Hawley's NIHL North Updates pages on social. Hawley himself has done one. We'll leave somebody else still a minute. Hawley's done his own prediction as well. He's actually predicted more Blackburn success than the Blackburn people have. So Hawley's going with Blackburn to win the league and the Cup and the playoffs and the national playoffs, but Streatham to win the National League game. His league goes Blackburn, Solihull, Deeside, Billingham, Telford, Hull, Leeds, Widnes, Nottingham, and Sheffield. So he has Leeds in 7th, which seems reasonable. And then I won J. Langstaff Esquire.
Carol's got a hand up.
I've had my hand up for a while. I will.
Sorry.
Now, Harley also has Toronto to win the Stanley Cup, which I think says what he knows about hockey.
I was going to gloss over that because obviously I'm a Leafs fan, and even I don't believe Toronto was going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah. Graham had Florida. Nicky Watt had Florida. John's got Edmonton just before Connor leaves. Yeah, and Holly's gone Toronto. So, Mr. Langstaff, would you like to go through your predictions for us?
Yeah, I don't mind. I know it's upset a few people around here, there, and everywhere, which, tough luck, toughen up. Just on I have a reasoning for mine. Mine isn't that I don't have any belief in Billingham. If Billingham, we came out with a league title this year, I wouldn't be surprised. If we won the Cup this year, I wouldn't be surprised. But what the three above us have spent, they all have to win something, and that's where my predictions went. So I went Blackburn 1, Solihull 2, Deeside 3, Billingham 4, Telford 5, Hull 6. I was and ahhing between them two. Widnes 7. I like what they've done and made a lot of good changes. I think they're just a bit above Nottingham, who I had an 8. And then for Sheffield and Leeds, I actually flipped the coin. Sheffield was tails, Leeds was heads. It landed on tails, so Sheffield went 9, Leeds went 10. For the Cup, again, these teams must win trophies this year for myself. I took Dragons winning the Cup, Barons winning the playoffs, and just give the Nationals titles to Streatham because they are mint this year. And yes, Edmonton will win the Cup before Conor McDavid leaves for Detroit.
Yeah. Detroit in your dreams. Yeah.
That's what, hey, we've got all that cap space. We're waiting for Conor McDavid. 22 million in cap we'll have next year. We're all for McJesus.
If it's going to be fixed anyway, he's going to go to Pittsburgh and play with Sydney for 1 year, and then because Pittsburgh are NHL mandated to have a generational talent at all times. So Sid's on his way, so they need a new one. So they're not going to get it in the draft. So they'll just get Connor in.
Sid will be a Toronto bound come deadline day.
Sid will go to if he's going anywhere in that division, he'll go to Montreal.
I don't think they've got the room for him.
He's traded. Anyway, we're going massively off topic.
Yes, we are. Yes,
they've traded Carey Price's cap hit, so they have the space. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, we don't disagree with our logic. As we said in my previews, Blackburn's own podcast has even said they've invested, they need a return. That was their words, I believe.
Yeah, they must win. It's that simple.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with about Streatham. I think Streatham Slough is going to be an immense rivalry down in the south this year. But yeah, Streatham to me have got the secret ingredient, as I mentioned just before we started. They've got Vanier back, and he's going to be massive in that division. So yeah, I agree with you about Streatham.
Yeah.
The Leeds. Do you still have Leeds that far down after what we've talked about?
I don't know. Like I say, it was literally a coin flip. I still don't think that they're going to have enough. I think they will tire as the season goes on. Yes, they're young lads, but a lot of games, a lot of pressure will come on them. Witness have improved massively. Nottingham improve, and I can't accept Sheffield being that bad for that long. To be honest, as well, I think they will be, but they will make changes throughout the season. They won't want one of their teams. We know how the Steelers are running, the Steel Dogs, and etc. They'll want to make changes there and have them competing, so they have the talent coming through. But I mean, I could swap them two around, but it ain't going to change much.
Yeah.
I
mean, we saw at the back end of last year the bottom 3 or 4 in the division were kind of chopping and changing right until the last couple of weeks, until kind of they got cut adrift. So it's possible it's going to be that close down at that end of the table once again.
Yeah, I just think Widnes have a bit more about them this year. The roster seems a bit bigger. They look a lot more settled than they did last year, not knowing what type of team they're going to have. I think they started last year with about 10 players, didn't they? So they're a lot more settled this year, and I think that'll do them in very well. I think they've had a decent start to the season as well, to be honest, in the couple of games that they've played. 1-1, lost 1, I think.
I mean, I haven't thought about doing a prediction in that kind of degree of kind of depth and what have you. So fair play to those who've stuck their neck above the parapet and put their name on the line, as it were. Anything from you, Carol, on the predictions of either our esteemed colleague or others?
I don't particularly disagree with a lot, because if you look at the predictions, they're all fairly similar. They're not. I mean, obviously they're not all exactly the same. I know games are won on paper, but on paper, Blackburn's roster says they win the league every day of the week. Solihull, likewise, I think they're going to be a thorn in the side for most teams this season. They've got to travel better than they usually do, though. If they want to win stuff. D-side for me, still unknown. They need to be firing all the time. I mean, I know they've got a couple of shutouts at the weekend, but
we fixed D-side. We did it. We fixed.
I think
I'm putting an invoice into Mike Clancy. We have fixed D-side,
and that's
welcome.
That was another thing on my thought process with them. I mean, I could quite have easily put Billingham third, but D-side have to do something this year. The whole roster signed 2-year deals, so they have to win something.
Yeah,
they've got a plan in place, so they must win.
Yeah, but I'll go back to what I just said though. Games are not won on paper.
100%.
So I actually think, do you know what? Providing we stay healthy, because our roster ain't the biggest this year. Providing we stay healthy and we manage to stay off the Docs radar, I would put us anywhere in the top 4. I couldn't tell you which place it's going to be either.
I think I said to you Saturday, I would not be surprised if we walked away with another league title. Would not be surprised at all. That's how good we are. But we don't have the pressure on us to win like the other 3 have, which might spur them on to win. It might spur them the other way, and you have disaster seasons. Fingers crossed it does. But I was just going with a logic of these 3 teams have to win something.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
I will go with everybody and say Streatham will win anything that involves the South.
I am so looking forward to watching them at Hill City.
I just think they've gone for it. Last season wounded them very, very badly, and I think the South first and foremost is going to take the backlash of that, and then whoever they come up in the North, better beware, because they're probably going to try and kick some ass there as well. So don't disagree with Streatham. I'm still going to stick with. I don't think Leeds will finish bottom. I think Leeds will be pushing for another playoff spot. Whether they make it or not is another thing. But I don't think Leeds will finish bottom. Everybody else, do you know what? That's what's great about this year. I couldn't tell you where everybody's going to finish because I haven't got Scoobies really. I'm looking at positions sort of 5 to 9 and thinking.
I went with Telford's firepower. I think their firepower is a bit better than the other three.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that either. But I think the beauty of this season is you look at it and you go, I haven't got a clue really. And I don't do predictions because I don't know if anybody's ever seen my past predictions. I'm rubbish at it, so I'm not going to do
Remember
that.
that year you predicted Blackburn to get relegated? What happened that year?
Yeah, let's not go there. I'm not going to predict the NIHL either because I did crap at last year, so I'm not going to do that either. But if you pushed me, I'd probably say Edmonton.
Yeah.
I've just put the mocker on Edmonton, by the way. That means they're definitely not winning anything.
I know Stan Bowman's put the mockers on by not changing the goalies, but that's a whole different podcast.
No, so I'll just say, genuinely, the Stars could still win. They could still win the league, and they could still win everything. But the beauty of this year is, I haven't got a clue really. Could be anybody. If you're going to do all your games on paper, it's Blackburn, and Blackburn know it as well. By the way, that's a lot of pressure to take on.
The Hawk Talk episode of all the directors said so themselves. They have to win.
They have to win it. They have to win. So we'll see. So
it's going to be a great year.
We start this weekend, and we're just going to enjoy the ride. I think as four trophy defending double league champions back to back.
And I think that's
whatever you want to describe it as.
I think we can play that into our favour this year as well. Like we can just sit back. Even the team can just sit back, enjoy the ride, enjoy the hockey that they play, the style that they play. None of them three are going to be so pressurised on having to win every week. And if we don't win it this year, we've got 4 or 5 more bits of talent coming through where we know we're going to come back again. We know in a year or two we will be back right there knocking on the door. We'll be knocking on the door this year. We don't like I've mentioned 3 or 4 times now. I just think their need is far greater than ours.
I think we'll be knocking on the door, and I don't think we will be just sitting back and enjoying the ride, because I think the way they went about it last year, I think the team just want that to continue. But like you say, there's zero pressure on us now because we've got the trophies in the bank, and surely to have to borrow a friend of the show's name, soon have the banners on the wall to go with it, which is something to look forward to in due course. But yeah, no, good fun from the predictions. I say fair play to those sticking their neck out, and Harley to collate all of those. I don't know if he's got any more to come. Do you know, was his the last one?
No, I think it was just the 4 of us, I believe.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we'll click save on that one and just put that on in the way till April, and we'll revisit that one in a future episode. As we did last week, we also mentioned hockey that did take place, and as again we had no hockey of our own. The podcast team plus supporters club plus most of the Stars players that weren't playing books appeared to be at the Forum on Sunday night for the Buccaneers in their Hockey Hound Cup game. Didn't quite go as planned, I don't think. But huge props to Matty Pickup. We mentioned the Leeds guys last week who had the under 16 players. Billingham did 2 of their own for the Bucks. Matty Pickup and Will Thornton. Under the new ruling, if you turn 16 this year and you're good enough and fit enough and you're not going to be hurt and die and whatever the doctors say, there's a few tick boxes to maintain, you know.
Will not die.
Will not die. Tick. Yeah, fine. So they were registered in time to play the Bucks, and Matty Pickup didn't go ahead and score the first goal of his career in the senior leagues to give the Stars the lead in the first period. Nice snipe it was as well from the left circle. That's probably as good as it got for the Bucks, really, wasn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I think the indiscipline was their downfall on Sunday, unfortunately. Yeah. Can't win games from the penalty box. How many times have we heard that before?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Coventry
a couple of
5-on-3s five power play goals, and I think that tells its own story.
Yeah, a couple of 5-on-3s. the big talking point that we've got everybody, including the players, talking, I suppose, was Sam Dowd getting a roughing minor and a 5 game for fighting.
Who
And
knew?
And I think somebody on Facebook, was it, he threw 10 uppercuts in 5 seconds or something? It was, because Sam does everything to 100 mile an hour, it seems, including throwing punches. But yeah, he got first use of the hot water, and it didn't get any better from there. I think Coventry as well. It was the second game of the weekend for them. They lost at home to Sheffield the night before, so I think they were smartening a bit as well. But yeah, they took the opportunities on offer, and took the win in the Hockey Hound Cup, which Billingham are the defending champions of, because all Billingham do is win, as we know. But yeah, so Coventry take that win. They're playing again in a few weeks back at the Forum in league action. And I think that's did we say they're away next weekend, aren't they? They're not playing this weekend.
They're away this
they're away,
weekend.
and then they're at home next weekend when we're at home.
And then home before we're our game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so it was a disappointing result for the Bucks. I did catch up after the game with, as we mentioned last week, friend of the show, Jodie Alderson-Smith, who, Great Britain's captain, plays Women's Elite League for Solihull, but plays NIHL with Coventry. And check this if it sounds familiar. Solihull women haven't played a league game yet. Sound familiar to anyone? So Jodie was pleased to get some action under her belt, so she's keeping game ready, and Solihull starting in a couple of weeks' time at Whitley Bay. But you're good to see Jodie. As I say, we had her on the show last year talking GB and all things women's hockey. Anything from the books or from anything around the Sunday action you wanna throw in before we go AOB? Carol?
Shout out to the girls who had their very, very first ever away game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate to go down 6-2, but by all accounts, they put in the same amount of effort as they did in the home game. That first win will come, girls. You just keep going, because clearly they're battlers. So we'll keep watching the girls progress and see how they get on.
Yeah, Manchester are one of the more experienced under-16s teams in that division. So yeah, good effort. As it was quite tight until late on, I understand from reporters on the scene. Thanks, Nikki. So yeah, so great stuff from the girls. I say we'll keep an eye on them next home game as well. Be good to see them. Anything from you, John, before we go? Any other business?
No, just thinking what's happened. No, I haven't unfortunately took much notice of Division 2 so far this weekend. Obviously, once the season gets into full swing from our point of view, and I'll probably start seeing who's doing what down below. The only thing I did see is I saw the Chef Titans were top of the division, 3 from 3. So maybe that pathway is from Steelers all the way down is starting to move some things around for them, and they've started the season well. But other than that, I haven't really seen much.
Yeah, Titans 9 points with a +5 goal difference. Buccaneers still second, 1 win, 3 points, +4. Yeah, then Sutton, D-side, etc. Kingston Sharks haven't played a game. They're in 6th. So fancy not playing a game till the 20th of September. We'll leave that there. As I say, check out the junior stars for their action, as well as they have regular games pretty much every weekend at home and away. So you can find out what the junior stars are up to as well. But Carol, as we mentioned, this Sunday, Stars are actually going to play a league game. So from the media team, what have we on the slate for this week to get ready for game time?
Well, you're going to start seeing content, which is kind of been a bit rare. Trying to keep people up to date with other people's scores is a bit boring, really. You want to see something from your own team. So somebody, I can't think who, has done some nice fancy graphics, and you should be seeing some some nice team picks soon, and all sorts of lovely stuff just to get you all excited for the season to come. It's been a long time coming, but now that it's on the horizon, the media ramps up accordingly. So keep your eyes peeled. Just be aware, some people have spotted this, eagle-eyed people, which just proves that people do look at the website occasionally, that there is some work going on behind the scenes of the website, which means it's throwing up some daft results at the minute. So if you do see some silly stuff on the website, be aware that we're tinkering. So
Tommy Wakefield is not Tom Sprague.
yeah, well, again, somebody has done some new team picks, so they'll be turning up on the website soon as well. So it's one of these things that when you start mucking about with the content management system that sits behind the website, then everything starts moving about that you didn't really want to. So just bear with us, people. It'll all be fine.
But when you do see all the new stuff, please share and share away, because it's all good for the algorithms.
Yeah.
And that applies to this podcast as well.
Yes.
Share.
One of the things we did share last week was a little teaser. We mentioned it on the podcast on last Wednesday. A new supporters club committee member in the offing, and we did share a little teaser, and a couple of people have guessed what's going to happen. It's not 100% ready to go yet, so we should have some more news.
Still
on that.
shy, are you? Still very, very shy, I'm hearing.
At the back end of this week. Yeah, that little pause has turned into a big pause.
I heard it was the ITC clearance.
Possibly, yeah. Polar bears need a special thing as well. I don't know. But yeah, so look out for some more content from the Stars and the Star Supporters Club regarding their latest member in the coming days as well. We'll be at training as well this week to see them training Sons games for the last time and get gauge the mood from down there. Jono, SC hat on. Obviously, we mentioned your incoming member of committee once that's all sorted. But your usual fare, your last chance to sell without having any home games to sell them at.
Yeah, no, there'll be just I'll have another week before a home game. But yes, come and see us, message us for all the stuff. We've got books. I don't know if you can see them behind me. I do have the collection just there, and it's a bit dark now in my view, but they're all there. The cup, the playoffs, and the league.
Remind me, how many we have a puck for every trophy, don't we, John? So how many?
That's correct. So there's four.
Four.
Yeah, four. So that's a league trophy, a Morley Cup, a Morley playoff. We have a national playoff. Four. So we have a collection. They all look very smart.
Whitley Bay Christmas Cup.
Yeah. Moving on. Moving on. But yeah, they look great. I actually have a picture of them all together. I might even share them on some socials so everyone can see how they look together. So come and get them all. We do have some new bit key rings. We've got brand new pens. New puck key rings have finally come in, so we've got them as well. I believe we might have some beakers come in. We might even have some bibs for the babies out there who are Billingham Stars fans. Not sure how many we may have. It might be for the adults as well. Some of them could be quite sloppy and dribbly. You never know. But yes, we do have those covered as well. Memberships, yep, they're available. I'm missing something here. Puck drops.
With their membership, are there any membership benefits such as discounts? Do you know?
Well, there absolutely is. Not only do you get money off things, you get money off Thor's ice cream. Thor's ice cream.
Thor's ice cream.
Thor's ice cream. You get 50p off. You get 50p off at Thor's ice cream. Did anyone not say that?
You get 50p off Thor's ice cream if he's there, because rumor has it he wasn't there. You know, not that people went down especially just to see Thor's ice cream, but you know, I went for the hockey.
I'm not going to lie, I went down to see Thor's ice cream.
Yeah, I was actually only going to watch Carol struggle to eat Thor's ice cream.
Yeah. But
But
yeah,
yes, you will get your discount off your Thor's ice cream, your hockey hound, hockey apparel, and other merchandise and bits from the official Stars table as well.
yeah, fantastic stuff. We look forward to seeing the table fully resplendent with its new member of staff in a couple of weeks' time at the forum. But we'll talk about that more next week, I'm sure. I think that's about it. We shall wrap up. A reminder: Stars in action this Sunday away to the Leeds Knights at Sunday 7 p.m. at the Castle, Planet Ice Leeds. If you're heading down, as I say, an official Starcast recommendation for the hot chocolate. We don't do that lightly, but that comes with recommendation from my colleague. Yeah, so if you're traveling to that one, as we said, always loud and proud for your Big Red Machine. We'll talk about the game next week as we look forward to a home game, which is a whole another realm of things to do, including for your announcer and DJ stuff to do. But that's all next week's problem. But we'll leave it there for now. We'll draw a veil. As Carol said, if you're listening or watching, however you're getting your podcast, give us a like and a share and a review. All positive, all helps the algorithm getting the Starcast out there as far and as wide as possible. It's much appreciated. We'll be back next week to talk about some actual Billingham Stars hockey. But for now, from Carol, from Jono, and from myself, this has been Starcast.
Thank you for watching and listening to Starcast. Follow us on social media and remember to subscribe and leave a review on your podcast platform.